that we were not able to bring in anyone from Xbox, and the reason for that was non-cross-platform access. That is going to be changing in the new year. Bungie confirmed it, and we really look forward to it. Right, so we've not had Destiny now for a few weeks, and the reason for that was quite simple. I tried to get in some Xbox gamers to come in and play together with me in order to defeat one of the bosses in Beyond Light, because I want to have that degree of continuity. Unfortunately, literally every one of our community members was playing Destiny 2 on either PC or PlayStation, so therefore I was depleted of the usual participation, and therefore I've not been able to complete that particular task. It is a 3-man mission when you need to destroy Lixney and all the other big baddies in Beyond Light, and therefore it's quite pointless doing it just by yourself. The dawning season had started, and indeed it kicked off last week, and therefore we are going to be joining Ava Levant with her recipes, her cookies, and all the other loot. So today I'm going to give you first of all a description on what this season is going to give us, and as you will remember, every single year we get beautiful Christmas decorations, we get Ava providing us with some recipes, and then we get some interesting loot. We also get some emblems and some other bits and pieces that can be kept throughout the year, so if we want to really show off to our friends that we indeed completed everything that was there before us, we could do that at any other time during the year. There were some discussions about reducing the number of loot and gear that we could keep, but I think presently we are still in possession of the vast majority of those, and there was some suggestion that the seasonal loot could be just given per season and then deleted, but it was really received badly by everyone in the community, so I think it's very unlikely that the vast majority of those items that we worked for really will be taken away from us. We did have a kind of a reorg of the planets. We've heard that the darkness basically hijacked 4 planets at once, and therefore we can't access them anymore, therefore they've gone to the vault. But it's been beautifully, ingeniously, I guess, brought into the current storyline of Destiny World, and we just accepted it. So I've read several hundred, well, quite a few Twitter postings from a variety of community members who actually indicated that they accepted that. They thought, well, if we need to wait for a couple of years, we'll wait for the planets to come back. And I think we are talking about 2 or 3 years. A, we are likely to be seeing the new tech arising, and B, we'll have maybe the other means to which the space and the storage will be managed. And presently, this game is incredibly large and therefore causing many problems to Bungie. So first of all, we'll do the usual. We'll look at the industry news, and I want to invite everybody here in our community indeed to join my Twitter, because the way we do it is we do the rundown of everything that is significant on a particular day, or indeed the news coming on the wires during the last 24 hours, and we present those to everybody who's here in our community. So we'll start first of all with some very wonderful news coming from the Xbox and Microsoft ambassador, Xbox ambassador community. We've heard from United Nations Foundation today. Okay, so this is not just like any other kind of hub. This is the foundation of the United Nations, and basically it's an organization that provides charitable funds for many different groups and societies around the world. And we've heard today that United Nations Foundation is asking all of us, the Xbox players worldwide, and most importantly in the US, to join the Microsoft Rewards program, because this one will be matching all point donations to the COVID-19 fund for WHO, which is World Health Organization. Apologies for a croaky throat. Must have been that wind that indeed was very severe last night when I went to have a biryani. And so if you're interested, just head to my Twitter and access Get in the Fight posting coming from the United Nations. And if you click on that one, you will first of all get some information on what you actually can be doing in order to contribute towards that COVID-19 fund. So let us just very quickly have a look and let us see what we have. Yeah, you will get a very detailed rundown on all that Microsoft points and rewards are going to be giving you. So remember that, access United Nations Foundation posting on my Twitter. I retweeted it from Bungie, and therefore you'll be able to access and join forces with us all. There's also a very nice snapshot of our front page on Xbox, and you can see that all the Microsoft rewards during the next couple of weeks will be matching all point donations to the COVID-19 fund, and that is for the World Health Organization. So then if we look further down, we realized and learned yesterday from Game Rant that cancelled Doom 4 footage, which was, I guess, talked about quite a bit, emerged online. So I'm not sure who the whistleblower was, but if you're interested and if you are a great fan of Doom series, you will be obviously wanting to have a look at it. So again, go to my Twitter, access Game Rant postings, and click on the link indicating that the cancelled Doom 4 footage is indeed emerging online. Today we have a major sale launched on PlayStation Store, so all of you who are on PlayStation will be able to get literally more than 1,000 PS5, PS4 deals. They include all sorts of games. Some of those are offered on absolutely incredible prices. They will try to bring in as many games as possible for people who want to try them on the new console, and therefore this is the best possible opportunity for you to step in. So remember that, step in and snap up some of those special offers. I certainly will do this, but to be honest with you, I will always find interesting offers on Microsoft and PlayStation stores, and therefore I've got to be thinking about my budget. You know, it's very easy to get to Christmas and then break your bank, and that is not what I will be doing. But to be frank, lots of games are offered on very, very low prices, and I already enjoyed many, many wonderful sales during the year, so I really can't complain. I never had many more games. In fact, I've just looked at the list. It looked like I've played 555 games on Xbox this year. I mean, 555 games? It is absolutely mind-boggling. And it's, you know, the Microsoft algorithm that gave me the information. But what I do, basically every week, I look at everything that comes up as new, and I look at all the demos and, you know, all the games that are offered free of charge and everything that is on Xbox Game Pass. So I don't actually play the whole game, but I look at it and I play some sections of it to get a very good flavor, and then I take some notes, put them in my notebook, and always resort to the notes later on to find out what games appear to be interesting. Obviously, if you're thinking of The Division, Oblivion, Elder Scrolls, Red Dead Redemption, it's a no-brainer. These are massively games, and you will always know exactly what they're about because it's a franchise and, you know, massive big AAA blockbusters. But for lots of quirky titles that don't have any marketing budgets, it is very important that indeed you have a look at whatever is recommended. Most importantly, in recent months through Xbox Game Club, I tried Oxenfree, for instance, which was the only major indie game offered in there in the first couple of weeks, and I loved it. I thought it was absolutely amazing. And we've had the former members of Disney Studios and a couple of senior staff developers of Telltale Games who joined forces together and produced a wonderful, wonderful, quirky little indie game that was giving us, you know, plenty to enjoy. We've had mobile characters that talked all the time. The dialogue was very funny, and it was a combination of coming on age with some sort of horror stroke survival elements within one game. I really liked it, and I still haven't finished it, but you know, there comes Christmas. I'll be able to get my teeth into some of the games, because during Christmas we will not have our regular streams here on my channel. Only a couple of weeks really to take a break and do other things, as well as enjoy all the other games that were coming our way during the last couple of months. You will know that Destiny and Warzone will stream here every single day now for quite some time, and I take regular breaks in order to kind of recharge batteries, to clear my head, make sure that I you know, get enough strength, energy, and some new ideas for the following season. So the new season is going to start from about 7th of January. But to be frank with you, what I will do is I will be running shortish stream of the games that I consider to be of interest. So maybe a bit of Warzone and Destiny now and then, but generally we'll be looking at all the other games that are on the back burner here, and try to introduce them really to our community. I've seen several people, oh, I'm losing something here, apologize, and I have seen several times that people who love Destiny and Warzone or Apex and PUBG would actually pop in and have a look at Oxenfree, for instance, or Plague Tale, or any other game that I was streaming over here. So just remember, the PlayStation Store holiday sale actually started today, and you need to have a look at everything that is on offer. So we've heard that Treyarch Studios have daily challenges, and all of those are now live in Black Ops Cold War. We're playing Black Ops Cold War during the weekend, but I have to say it didn't perform technically well. It was really bad, and I was very disappointed. I want to try all the maps and all the multiplayer modes, but it didn't really provide us with that degree of entertainment. First of all, we couldn't unlock some of them. Secondly, we had problems with the server speed, so any match entered was either a victory or a loss with maybe 60-70 points difference, which tells you accessing the server was causing speed issues, and therefore some people were just literally able to win every single game whilst the others were lagging behind. It wasn't dependent on fiber or anything else which be linked to home broadband. So keep it in mind if you're still trying it out today and tomorrow. Lots of problems. I have not gone back since because I really have no patience for. First of all, I don't like death matches generally, and secondly, having a death match which is being played continuously and then with lots of technical problems is for me like doing kamikaze, and therefore I always give it a miss. It was good, good from Treyarch Studios to provide us with the option of exploring the world free of charge, and as you know, the main section is based on campaigns, so therefore we are not accessing any of that. Campaigns are based on a continuous story, but we do have Warzone, which is a battle royale mode of Call of Duty, and it's been fully integrated both with Cold War as well as Black Ops and Modern Warfare, and we have been indeed playing it here every single day with our squads. And I think, if you want my opinion, it's funny, really, isn't it? Because Warzone comes across as by far the best compared to everything else that Call of Duty is offering at present, and it is free of charge, so quite frankly, step in and join our squad. GTA Online future content will still cater to solo players. Well, we knew that all along, but they will try to accommodate everyone, and it's similar to what we have here with some of the cross-platform games. It's possible today to switch the cross-platform on and off, so if you want to be sticking to your PC, you don't want to have anybody from PS or Xbox communities joining your opponents or indeed your friends, then make sure you just keep it that way. If you are like myself running a community-based channel, if you want to meet other people from around the world, you are going to be wanting that tab to be switched on, so therefore anyone and everyone can pop in and basically take part. We had lots of bad news about Cyberpunk this week, from 1 billion loss to problems with the management and Sony basically pulling the plug on the game for the time being. But today is some good news, and the good news is that you can basically change up your hairstyle whenever and however many times you want within Cyberpunk 2077, and that was due to a mod. So GameSpot tells us how to do that, how to get your infinite hairstyles, and if you're interested, if you're playing the game, that's going to be your bread and butter. So just have a look, access that posting on my Twitter, and you'll get all the information. Exciting. I think I quite like the idea of changing certain outfits and changing certain hairstyles. But on the other hand, I'm a creature of habit, so if I create my character, I want them to be recognizable literally throughout. But the idea is a bit like with battle-weary characters. If they get some scars or tattoos, you want them to be evolving with the game in the same way as you would have seasonal and day-night type of cycle. So that is the bottom line, and that's exactly why these kinds of funky ideas are being constantly introduced. The biggest news of the day, in fact I've read that early in the week, was coming from the USA, and this is all to do with the new law that they're trying to pass through the Senate, I believe, and it is called the US Coronavirus Relief Bill, which is also introducing a new copyright streaming measures law. Well, this is very complicated, and it will definitely concern lots of people in the US and worldwide. It's all about the kind of content that you're streaming. Quite frankly, if you're a streamer on Xbox and PlayStation, you will be prevented from use of any form of unauthorized copyrighted content, because the consoles will not allow it. So your stream will be muted, and therefore nothing will be recorded. But people who do various things on PCs, they'll use different types of software in order to make the streams look and fine and sound very interesting. A couple of my Swedish friends, they very frequently play some rap or some techno in the background. That's going to be strictly prohibited. That is not going to be allowed unless that particular record company or the the entity that holds the copyright actually is allowing it to be used within that forum. It's likely that they will be making quite a bit of revenue for certain music to be used in the games like Warzone. You have seen that when we are driving vehicles or helicopters, if we enable the option for the music to be played, we actually can be accessing certain tunes. So that's the thinking behind it. They want music to be used creatively, legally within a game, and you will be unlocking different types of songs as you carry on. So the new tech is allowing it, and I think that's the way forward. But let's see what they said about the law and the bill. They said the much talked about and long awaited COVID-19 relief bill will include massive copyright infringement changes which could really affect streaming. So in the US, the 2.5 trillion spending and relief package is expected to be approved and likely passed as soon as sometime today. So along with giving taxpayers a stimulus package to assist citizens during this unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic, it also has some major ramifications to the well-known copyright laws. So while much of the US awaits an upcoming stimulus package that's been long discussed, the same bill that puts the package into place would work to resolve copyright infringement claims. So that's the main thing. It's been a big battle already for quite a few years on copyrights, and it's just like an ever-evolving, never-ending saga, really, both in the US and worldwide. And if creative works are shared online, right, without permission, the copyright holders of that content could be awarded up to $30,000. So the MCA claims have resulted in lifetime Twitter bans. This year, the new laws would expand the rights of the owners of intellectual properties and result in much harsher punishments. So we need to see really how this is to evolve. They've not really given it the green light yet, but principally I'm very concerned about the implications. I did find some of the ideas, particularly during the last administration, the attitude towards the way certain content was used on the continent, particularly within the EU, of serious concern, because I thought that the idea of that copyrighted content, even if approved, right, elsewhere, would be prohibited from live streams. So that's where the idea comes from. It's okay to be using it elsewhere, but if you're streaming live, you'll be attracting viewers and listeners, and therefore you will be prohibited from doing so. And obviously, I think all of our friends who are professional streamers and people who are building the communities like myself, they will need to keep this in mind, because if you're not really listening to the changes in the law, you may lose access to some of those platforms. And don't forget, it's not going to be just Twitch, it's going to be across all platforms which are US based and US invented. So you're talking about Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram. All of these ones will be basically abiding by the rules, and probably we just need to wait and see. It is still going to be debated, but I personally think it is all going to be down to the way it's formulated, because ultimately it could be really a serious imposition. It doesn't really bother me personally, because I will always do the streams which are very simple, based on spoken word, and spoken word will come from all of our participants. But for younger streamers and people who want to really turn their streaming into a profitable business, people who are partnered with different companies, I receive daily news and various invitations to join different kinds of fashion brands where people want to be promoting t-shirts and shorts and shoes and sneakers looking like the guys from Apex or Warzone. And there's a serious business potential in there, but in order to draw attention, I think some of the streamers would want, for instance, to be promoting sneakers that are from Apex and play some music which is attached to it. They will not be allowed to do that. If this law is passed, they will be able to talk, and that is going to be it. They will be able to do the music if indeed they contact the publisher and pay for the license. And that is for a small streamer who is basically doing it from their own home without any major sponsorship, not a possibility. It is going to be possible for the big streamers like Ninja or Shroud or any other big guys, Dr. Disrespect, because they are obviously sponsored, they have their position within the industry, and they don't do anything off their own back. They have the whole team that manages their streams and everything they do, and that's going to be basically the part and parcel of it. But don't forget, some regulation is required for what's happening at the moment. I know people are posing it full stop, but we really have got much bigger problem compared to the use of copyrighted content. The biggest problem is bullying, harassment, unethical behavior of certain people in public forums. And we did see on Twitter, I've seen many messages, particularly I have to say from female streamers, who were very, very upset as they were receiving serious threats and uncivilized behavior from some of the participants. I have to say, not in very large numbers, but it's just enough to have like one or two who are ruining it, otherwise a very, very successful and pleasant day. And you might have seen here on my Warzone streams, we had 2 or 3 times during the last couple of months individuals joining us from the public arena, coming in as randomly selected gamers and saying things which were completely unacceptable. They were immediately reported, blocked and prevented from accessing the service, and that's the way it needs to be. So I think the industry will get more regulated, will have more laws, and it will have probably more people employed to be monitoring and filtering out the content which is considered to be acceptable, and will bypass the need for likes and shares and all of that, because that's just the first wave of the way the industry is developing. And once this becomes part and parcel of everyday life, a bit like the way we're using cars or planes, there will be new regulation coming in that's going to be making it very, very strict in terms of how we are going to be able to use it. I know in the US there are lots of people who say that the internet's been very restricted already for many years, and lots of different types of human rights groups also getting involved with the discussion. I'm all about the rights, but I'm also absolutely against unethical behavior, because don't forget we've had cases in the UK where people died as a result of that. Tragic ending of somebody who was doing something proper due to the harassment they received online or any other factors that just merged at once is completely unacceptable, and we want regulation to come in order to suffice, in order to provide us with the safe guidelines and the forums for safe and ethical gaming. Because I have to say, for myself, as a mature gamer and streamer, no big deal really knowing what ropes to pull, how to really get rid of somebody who is causing trouble, indeed how to put them in prison if need be. It can be done very quickly. But for the youngsters who are not really haven't gone through life, people who are not familiar with the law, and also don't forget, cross-country laws are a big issue, because you can have somebody coming onto your stream from another country, and it's not quite the same if somebody is bothering you and they live nearby or live within one country. So these are all kinds of issues that will be regulated in due course. This is the first step, but sadly, the laws that they're addressing are about the copyright and not about the bullying, harassment, racism, and all the other things we've seen, unethical type of behaviors coming from some people. I've got to say that it's gone better over the years. I don't feel that today we have as much abuse, not myself personally, but present on these platforms compared to maybe 10-15 years ago. I think people are fully aware of the fact that if you want to track somebody's IP or find out their identity through the ISPs and various other agencies, that is made possible. So, nobody's anonymous at the end of the day, and I think some people are fully aware of the fact that they might be receiving a knock on the door if they're doing something really bad or indeed criminal. Anyway, so that's the news as far as the proposed coronavirus relief bill is concerned. A bit more, we have Stardew Valley update ready for us, and it's the biggest one so far. And if you're interested, you can just really download the game and try it on your PC. PC Gamer tells you all about it. We have Video Gamer telling us a bit about the wonderful and mysterious world of the Night City in Cyberpunk. They've done like a big critique of everything that they've seen in there, and that indeed is very, very much of interest to myself and everyone else. So let's see what else we have. Black Panther joins Fortnite along with Wakanda former news, and forever I should say, and that is certainly very much of interest to us. And then we have World of Warcraft as well, and the World of Warcraft is back, boasting its biggest stats in a decade. But did it ever really go away is the question. Well, hard to tell, but if you're interested, just access Eurogamer and all that they have to say, and you'll be able to get all the information. Right, so I think this is all the news that we have for today, and we are going to be back very, very shortly with our presentation of Destiny 2 Beyond Light, also within the dawning season. That is what we are going to be doing next. I need to take a short break. As I come back, we'll crack on with some seasonal content. We want to get into the aura of festivities, Christmas is only a couple of days away from us, and we want to be enjoying all the cookies, all the recipes, and everything else that Ava Levant has for us in the course of this year. So have a cup of tea, stretch a bit, have a breath of fresh air, and we are going to be back very, very shortly for our presentation of Destiny 2 Beyond Light in the dawning.